It's no secret that Bryson DeChambeau has been playing some great golf, and obviously Bryson hits the ball a mile. So in this video, we're going to dive into Bryson's golf swing in slow motion and talk about the mechanics that allow him to hit the ball so far and largely so accurately. And then we're going to talk about a few things that you can learn from a golf swing like Bryson DeChambeau's in order to make yourself a better golfer. Now let's start out by talking about DeChambeau's address positioning. Some people think that this is a pretty awkward address position, but the fundamentals of it are actually very interesting and pretty athletic in my opinion. Now the first thing most people notice is how high DeChambeau's hands are, and this is because DeChambeau has a single plane golf swing. So the lie angle of the club should match up with how his arms connect to that club. And then that angle and that plane is maintained throughout the entire swing. The single plane golf swing is a huge principle of Bryson DeChambeau's golf swing, and it is a very large contributor to his consistency throughout the bag. Also on the topic of the address position, from this angle here, you can see how weak the grip is with that left hand. This surprises a lot of people because DeChambeau is able to hit a draw, and a draw is usually created with a stronger grip, but this weak grip in the left hand actually allows for a flat wrist. And because Bryson has that single plane golf swing, that flat left wrist is easily maintained throughout the swing, and that is just another measure that creates a lot of consistency in the mechanics of DeChambeau's golf swing. Now let's take a look at this motion in super slow motion. As we see here, at the address position, DeChambeau does hover the club. Having that club off the ground just relieves a little bit of tension throughout the body. We see those high hands come out through the ball. See that left heel off of the ground? That left heel coming off of the ground in the backswing is just a way to accentuate any hip turn throughout his motion. If you at home struggle with hip turn in your golf swing, trying to lift that left heel in your backswing for a right-handed golfer, just the lead heel of your golf swing, trying to lift that heel off the ground is really going to free up your core and your hips to turn more in the backswing. More hip turn will create more swing speed, which will create more distance. So it's a great thing to try and feel out. I think if you want to try it as a drill, great. Some people are, precise and athletic enough to turn that type of motion onto the golf course and be confident in it. But I think, aside from all that, just trying it out as a drill to get that feeling is a great way to promote more rotation in that pelvic area. Now let's talk about the real moneymaker in DeChambeau's swing, which is the downswing. You can see how well he uses that upper body and those arms to explode through the ball. Let's take a look from the caddy view in super slow motion once again. It is important to note that for this swing, this is a 3-wood off the deck, so it's going to be slightly different than the driver, but trust me, this ball still went a mile. You can see how high those hands get in the backswing, which is something that I don't think he gets enough credit for. Those hands are above the head. That's pretty impressive. And then in the downswing, look at how his hips and that pelvis slide towards the ball. This is something that's pretty rare in modern golf. A lot of people don't really like to feel a ton of horizontal sway, and frankly, from an instructional perspective, it wouldn't be very proper to teach someone to horizontally sway through the ball. What I mean by horizontal sway is if you think of your belt buckle, you should be turning around that belt buckle. That belt buckle really shouldn't be shifting too much left to right. Horizontal sway is having that belt buckle move left to right in the golf swing, but if you're a mad scientist and you're obsessed with the mechanics of the golf swing like Bryson is, you can incorporate both rotation and horizontal sway in the golf swing. And horizontal sway, when done correctly and monitored and controlled, can be a real benefit to the golf swing. You see that belt buckle there? Look how that belt buckle is actually in front of the tee. It's in front of where the ball is at and right after impact, where before impact it was nowhere near. So that's just another method that Bryson uses to accentuate more distance and power off the tee. It is very difficult to do, especially in a consistent way, but when it's done right, it's really majestic. And now after the downswing will obviously come the follow through, which like the rest of his swing is wonderfully on one plane. But one thing that I don't think Bryson gets enough credit for, and it is a staple of any golf swing, whether you hit the ball very long or not as long, is how well balanced DeChambeau seems to be, especially after hitting some of these crazy long drives where he's really putting a lot of his body into it. You can see in this video how the feet move so much. he really rotates onto that left side so much that he rotates that shoe around the heel, and that foot will move around, especially when he really wants to get after one. Despite all of that, despite the movement and all of the acceleration he has through the ball, he's still able to hold that follow through. And when you're talking about balance in the golf swing and you want a rhythmic, balanced motion throughout your golf swing, it has to end in a follow through that you can hold. A lot of people say that you hold your finish after a really good shot if you think it's close to the hole. You should be able, on a good swing, to hold that finish for, as long as you want if it's properly balanced. So if you're going through the golf ball and you find yourself toppling over a little bit, look at the professional tours. None of the men and women in professional golf do that consistently. They're always very well balanced even when they're getting after the ball, which is a great thing to learn in anyone's golf swing. So those are some of the big aspects of DeChambeau's motion that I think people can learn from. If you like content like this, please let me know in the comment section down below, and subscribe to the Scratch Golf Tips YouTube channel. We post one swing analysis and one general golf instruction video every week, so there's a lot of good content coming out for you guys. As always, I appreciate the support on these videos. Thank you all very much for watching. Play well, and take care.